Well, that's it. That's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but we're not done just yet. I have one more thing for this stream. Just give me a second here. Now, that thing I mentioned earlier, where I was talking about finding something in the Google results, that thing was a fan fiction called Isaac's Mom Has Got It Going On by Dracobolt on fanfiction.net. And I'm going to read it on stream because I am a masochist at heart. Disclaimer! Golden Sun belongs to Nintendo and Camelot, not Dracobolt. This is an older fic that's been kicking around my hard drive for like a year now, so I figured I'd just go ahead and finally post it. Thanks God to everyone who's looked over for me at various points. Special thanks to my cousin Johnny, who first called me up one afternoon a few years ago and told me that I should write a fic. He then proceeded to dictate the outline of the story before leading me to write it. Well, here it is. I dubbed this pairing Laundry Shipping. Do I want to know what that means? Oh, okay, you know what? I'll just go into the menu real quick. There we go. Now the titles won't constantly loop. It was a nice spring day, 3 years after the Mount Aleph boulder had fallen. Garrett, Isaac, and Jenna were in the fields outside of Vale for combat training with Harold, the town blacksmith. Harold wasn't the best warrior, but he was competent enough. Currently, the three teenagers were working on their sword play. Isaac and Garrett were practicing together, as were Harold and Jenna. All right, Harold said after an hour. You guys are really improving. I think it's time that you fought a real enemy. He pulled the canteen from his pack and passed it around. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll find a monster for you to fight. He strode off, looking for an appropriate foe. The three friends sat down in the grass and passed around the canteen in silence. Garrett kept adjusting his sword belt, excited and nervous about the upcoming trial. He glanced at his friends. Jenna absently twirled her hair around a finger, and Isaac was shredding a piece of grass. Garrett smiled to himself. At least he wasn't the only one who was nervous. Just then, Harold appeared again. This way, you three, he said with a grin. There's a couple of vermin just over that hill. You should be able to take them down easily. We'll have to go quietly. We don't want to startle them. The four adepts crept along the field until they saw the vermin. Now, whispered Harold. Remember what I taught you. Go on. Rah! Garrett yelled, tearing down the hill with his sword drawn and a fireball formed in one hand. He tossed the fire at one vermin, incinerating it. He stabbed his sword into another, causing it to emit a squeak of pain before it dissolved into dust, as monsters were wont to do. All this happened before Isaac and Jenna could get halfway down the hill. Despite Garrett's head start, they were able to slay a few vermin themselves. Finally, all the monsters were dead. Excellent job, you three, Harold said, going over to them. You especially, Garrett. Watch out! What? Garrett asked. Ouch! A vermin, previously unseen, had darted out and bit him in the leg. Garrett growled with rage and torched the critter. Stupid monsters, he muttered. Are you okay, Garrett? Jenna asked worriedly. Here, let me heal you, Isaac said. He placed his hand on Garrett's wound and used cure. How's that? Better, Garrett said, moving his leg experimentally. Yeah, and he paused, wobbling in space. He reached out and grabbed at Isaac for support. Whoa. Garrett, are you all right? Harold asked. Let's get you back to Vale. He and Isaac helped Garrett back to Vale while Jenna ran ahead to get the Great Healer. How is he, Great Healer? Jenna asked after the man had emerged from the sanctum. Young Garrett will be fine. There was some sort of the poison in the vermin's bite, but I managed to purge most of it from his body. He may still be a little unwell, but it's nothing some rest won't cure. That's great, Isaac said, relieved. I'll help him home. Excellent, said the Great Healer. I'll send him out. Hey, guys, Garrett called, staggering out of the sanctum. Isaac and Jenna looked critically at the Great Healer, who rushed back inside. Come on, Garrett, Isaac said with a shrug. Let's get you home. He and Jenna led their delirious friend back to his house. All the while, Garrett struggled to get away from them and pointed to non-existent things such as fairies and space robots. Look, Isaac, it's an angel! Garrett giggled as they passed Isaac's house. Isaac sighed. No, Garrett, that's just my mom. Your mom? Garrett said, stopping. He looked at Dora, who was outside hanging up laundry. Garrett wrenched his arms out of Isaac's grasp and strode over to Dora, pausing just long enough to snag a flower from the ground. Good afternoon, ma'am, Garrett said politely. I brought you a flower. Why, thank you, Garrett, Dora said with a smile, accepting the flower. How sweet of you. So, you busy tonight? Garrett asked. 'Cause I'm thinking dinner and dancing down at the tavern. What do you say? Dora looked at him strangely. I don't think so, Garrett. Isaac had had enough. He rushed over and grabbed Garrett under the arm and hauled him away. How about Friday? Garrett yelled as Isaac dragged him home. You busy Friday? That night, Isaac had little rest. He was woken from a sound sleep by someone trying to climb in his window. Who's there? Isaac called, sitting up and reaching for his sword. Oh, sorry, Isaac, wrong room, he heard Garrett say, followed by some thuds. Garrett? Isaac called, jumping out of bed and dashing to the window. Garrett, what did you mean, wrong room? Garrett! There was no reply, and Isaac eventually went back to bed. Sleep eluded him, however, as he puzzled over his friend's strange behavior. The next morning, Isaac went outside after an early breakfast to see Garrett hanging laundry. Morning, Isaac, Garrett said around a mouthful of clothespins. Good morning, Isaac replied. Any reason you're hanging our laundry? Well, Garrett said, hanging up a bra, I remembered hearing Dora say how she didn't like hanging laundry out, so I thought I'd help out. Okay, Isaac said, trying not to think about how his best friend was waving his mother's lingerie around. He decided to change the subject. So, what were you doing trying to climb in my window last night? Oh, I wasn't trying for your room, said Garrett. I was looking for Dora's room. Do I even want to know why? Isaac said, feeling a bit squeamish. Garrett studied his face. Nah, probably not. I have to go, Isaac said and took off running. Garrett watched his friend go, then shrugged and returned to the laundry. Black lace, huh? When Isaac explained the events of the morning and previous night to Jenna, she was skeptical. Garrett tried to sneak into your house, Jenna said, raising an eyebrow. Isaac, are you sure that's what he was doing? He said so himself, Isaac said defensively. Well, if that's true, something's not right here, Jenna said. If it'll make you feel better, we could ask the great healer. This could be like an effect of that poison from the vermin. Good idea, Isaac said. Let's go see him now. The two friends left Jenna's grandparents' house, where Jenna had been living since her parents were killed, and headed for the sanctum. Unfortunately, they had to pass Isaac's house on the way there. Is there anyone around? Isaac asked Jenna, hiding his eyes. No, I don't see anyone, she said. Wait, there's someone moving inside, I think. Come on, let's investigate. Let's not, Isaac groaned, but allowed Jenna to lead him to the window. He hunkered down with his head in his hands while Jenna peered in the window. Oh, Luna, Jenna whispered in a horrified tone. Isaac let out a small shriek. What are they doing? He moaned. Jenna snickered. Just kidding. Garrett's just having tea with your mom. He pulled Isaac to his feet. Come on, let's go to the sanctum. Great healer? Jenna called and she burst into the sanctum with Isaac in tow. You've got some explaining to do. Hi, it's young Jenna, said the great healer coming over to the sanctum. What brings you here today? What's wrong with Garrett? Jenna asked. What do you mean? Asked the great healer. Garrett's acting like a crazy person, she said. We were thinking that it was infected with poison. Well, you were wrong, said the great healer, taking her arm and leading her to the door. How do you know? Jenna asked. You didn't even examine him. Who's the healer here? Asked the great healer. Now run along. He pushed her out of the door and slammed her. Well, how do you like that? Said Jenna indignantly. Let's just go back to my house, Isaac said. Garrett's alone with my mother. There's no telling what might happen. Indulge me, Jenna said dryly. Please, what do you really think could happen? Well, said Isaac, his imagination going like 60. He could ravish her. Ew, Jenna cried. Bad mental picture. Just stop. We'll go check on your mom. Garrett sat in Isaac's living room, sipping tea with Dora. It's good stuff, especially imported from Cali to the south. It perfectly complemented Dora's homemade biscuits. You know, you're a really good cook, Dora. Wait, shit, that was the wrong voice. You know, you're a really good cook, Dora, Garrett said. Thank you, Garrett, Dora replied. I do try. Oh, it shows. I can't get enough of your cooking. Garrett paused, then spoke again. You're very pretty, you know. Well, thank you. Dora wasn't sure how to respond to this unusual comment. Your eyes are beautiful, Garrett said, leaning close. They're like gems, and I can see a beautiful soul. Dora's heart fluttered at Garrett's eloquent words. Not since her husband had died had she felt so loved and accepted by a man. She leaned closer to Garrett, gazing at his chocolate orbs. His eyes, by the way, he's not having any chocolate. Garrett. Dora. Their lips met and they were lost in bliss. Outside Isaac's house, Jenna and Isaac were staring in the living room window with horror. That is sick and wrong and disgusting, Jenna mumbled. Isaac screamed like a girl, crying, Bad mental picture! Bad mental picture! While clawing in his eyes. Isaac, get a hold of yourself, Jenna said with a shudder. We need to stop this from going any further. Isaac sat on the ground trying to get his emotions under control. Garrett must die, he muttered angrily. Isaac, no, this isn't Garrett's fault. He's not right in the head, Jenna said quickly. Besides, from what we saw, your mother reciprocated his affections. He made a face. Now there's something I never thought I'd say. You're right, Isaac sighed. Let's go stop this before I develop some sort of psychological problem. Crane might know what we can do, Jenna said. Let's go! The two teens dashed off to seek the sage's advice. Crane said upon hearing their tale. Garrett is acting delusional and you want me to cure him? He shook his head. I'm a scholar, not a healer. Come on, Creighton, Isaac cried. Surely there's something you can do. Well, I have been studying herbal cures lately, Creighton said. Perhaps I can help. Let me check my books. He hobbled over to his worktable and opened up a large volume. Jenna and Isaac exchanged relieved grins. Finally, they were getting somewhere. Yes, this should work, Creighton said. He motioned for them to join him. Isaac and Jenna came over, and Creighton pointed out a section on one page. It's a potion for curing hallucinations, but the ingredients are hard to come by. Jenna and Isaac were dismayed. Creighton smiled at them. Very hard to come by for most people, that is. They don't call me Creighton the sexy sage for nothing, you know. Isaac and Jenna stared at him. Creighton coughed. Well, I'll just go whip up that potion for you now. He stepped into his workroom and shut the door. Think he needs a dose of that stuff too, Jenna remarked. After Creighton gave them the potion, Isaac and Jenna took off for Isaac's house. I only hope it's not too late, Isaac panted as he and Jenna ran. They arrived at Isaac's house and burst inside. Garrett and Dora were locked in a passionate embrace, kissing each other. Isaac stood rooted in the spot, screaming. Jenna grabbed the potion from him, then tackled Garrett off of the sofa. Dora shrieked and tried to pull Jenna off Garrett, but Isaac snapped out of his daze and pulled his mother off Jenna. Jenna opened the potion bottle and dumped the contents in Garrett's mouth, and he swallowed in reflex. Jenna sat beside Garrett, watching him anxiously for changes. She was quite startled when Dora grabbed her collar and hauled her to her feet. What are you doing, young lady? Hey, let go of me, ma'am, Jenna cried, wrenching out of Dora's grip. I was trying to stop Garrett from doing something he'd regret. Mom, calm down, Isaac added, taking her arm. Garrett's sick. He got poisoned from a vermin bite, and Jenna gave him the cure. That's why he's been acting strangely. But... Dora stuttered helplessly as Isaac guided her to a chair. It's okay, Mom, Isaac told her. He was puzzled and more than a little freaked out when she burst into tears. It was all a lie! Dora sobbed, staring at Garrett. It was then that the young Mars Adams chose to stir, slowly sitting up. He placed a hand to his head, winced, and looked around. Hey, what happened? Garrett asked. Where are we? Garrett! Jenna cried, going over to her friend. How are you feeling? Confused, he said, standing. He glanced around. And what's the matter with Dora? Hearing this, the woman sobbed harder. She's been jilted and live, Jenna explained. She turned to Isaac and said, Take care of Dora, okay? I'll walk Garrett home and feeling in. After his friends left, Isaac sat uncomfortably with his mother, silently fetching her tissues. A few minutes later, the silence was shattered by a sustained shriek, undoubtedly issuing from Garrett. Isaac, in the kitchen preparing tea for his mother, winced. Jenna had told Garrett what had happened, but he sighed. At least Garrett was back to normal. He'd probably avoid Dora as much as possible, and Isaac couldn't blame him. In fact, Isaac didn't feel quite comfortable around his mother at the present, given the fact that he'd seen her macking on his friend. For the next few days, things were awkward among Isaac, Dora, Garrett, and Jenna. Isaac spent a lot of time on the roof doing maintenance work away from his mother. Garrett, for his part, avoided Isaac's house, preferring to take the long way to the plaza, crossing the river to keep away from Dora. Dora spent her days holed up in her bedroom, eating chocolates, reading romance novels, and crying. Isaac was worried about her, but not enough so to do anything about it. Jenna said it was probably not a good idea for him to discuss the events of the past several days, lest he cause himself permanent psychological damage. She told him this one day when she, Isaac, and Garrett were at Creighton's for lessons. Indeed, lessons with Creighton were, for Isaac and Jenna, almost as awkward as being around Dora. Jenna told Isaac and Garrett that her mind had created a mental image for Creighton the sexy sage, and that the image was burned in her mind's eye. Isaac and Garrett sympathized with her, all the while wondering what sort of image she had come up with. This, unfortunately, caused undesirable speculations on their parts, and they, too, ended up with mental images stuck in their heads. Isaac, Garrett, Jenna, and Dora did not all come together again until a week after the events which had caused the tension between them all. Creighton was going to take the kids to Mount Aleph as part of their studies. Jenna was ready to go on time, but she ended up having to tear Garrett away from his energy training, and then the two of them had to pull Isaac away from his repairing the roof. Jenna and Garrett had hoped not to run into Dora, but she was there. Luckily, the four of them were able to put up a facade of normalcy for the short time they were in each other's company. The kids soon left with Creighton for Mount Aleph. Inside, they discovered many awesome secrets, but also ran into trouble. The elemental stars were stolen, and Jenna and Creighton were kidnapped. Garrett summed up the situation succinctly, saying, "Bummer." He added to Isaac the only upside to the situation was that he wouldn't have to be around Dora at all. Isaac had to agree with his friend. He hoped that his mother would be back to normal by the time he and Garrett returned with Jenna and Creighton. Although Vale was no more, Isaac was overjoyed. This is a new scene, by the way. Isaac was overjoyed to see that his mother was safe. "Mom!" he yelled, running towards his mother. "Dora!" Kyle called, following his son. "Oh, you're safe!" Dora called, running to meet them. The rest of the villagers close behind her. Kyle ran to his wife, his arms open, ready to embrace her, and his eyes glistening with happy tears. He stopped short as his wife ran past him. Whirling around, he saw her throw her arms around Garrett, of all people, and his jaw dropped when he watched his wife plant a passionate kiss on the boy. Kyle growled and charged. Isaac threw himself in front of his father. "Dad, wait!" "The hell I will!" Kyle shouted. "He's kissing my wife!" "No, Dad," Isaac said, holding his father back. "Mom's, kissing him," he shuddered. Kyle looked over his son's shoulder. Indeed, it was Garrett who broke the kiss, and he stepped away from Dora with a horrified look on his face. Then he met Kyle's gaze and became even paler. Sir, I can totally explain everything," Garrett stuttered as the whole party and all of the townsfolk looked on in silence. And that is that. That's the end of that. Yeah, okay, hold on. I accidentally closed the tab. New tab. I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the chat for you guys because I want Draco, whatever the fuck his name was, to get the recognition that he deserves for that. Because I laughed my ass off when I first read that. I'm not gonna lie. Copy that. And oh wait, I'm not signed in on my phone. Okay, well fuck it, you can look it up. Just look up Isaac's Mom Has Got It Going On by Dracobolt. If you want to read it for yourself. And yeah, that is the end of the Golden Sun stream.